Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back for another episode of Webinar Wednesdays of the Department of Labor and Employment, hosted by the Bureau of Working Conditions. We are now on our sixth episode, and our topic for this afternoon will be Technical Safety Inspection. I am Saibal Ann Cortez, Labor and Employment Officer 3, your moderator for this afternoon's webinar. Before we start, may I call on Ms. Jan Barboza, Labor and Employment Officer 1 for our prayer. Ms. Jan?
Let us bow our head and put ourselves in the holiness of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Almighty and ever-loving God, we glorify and thank your name. You have showered us with so much blessings, and your presence continuously remind us of your faithfulness and guidance. May we humbly ask you to shower our speaker today of your greatest inspiration, so that he may share the most of his knowledge, his field of expertise, and to his respective topics. May we also absorb the invaluable knowledge, experiences, and put it into practice, that we may learn today. Your infinite blessing would mean the success of this webinar. May we be a living witnesses of your genuine love through the enactment of the knowledge acquired through this activity. We ask this in the name of your Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Maraming salamat po, Ms. Jan. Magandang hapon muli and hello to our Facebook Live participants. Pa-heart react naman po sa ating 308 viewers. We encourage our participants to please share this Facebook Live and use the hashtag Webinar Wednesdays. You may also share this link with your colleagues, friends, and family para mas marami pa po ang magkaroon ng bagong kaalaman with regards to the topic Technical Safety Inspection. Also, please follow our Facebook page, PWC1949, para maging updated kayo sa issuances, announcements, and activities na inilalabas ng Bureau at ng DOLE. For questions and inquiries, kindly use the comment section below and this will be addressed by the resource speaker after the lecture. Para malaman po namin kung sino-sino po ang kasama natin ngayon, may mga ilang katanungan lang po kami. May we request po the participants to open a new tab in your browser and go to slido.com and enter the code displayed on your screen to participate. The code is 2065755. I repeat, 2065755. We encourage all the participants to please join the poll. Pwede nyo din pong iscan ang QR code na nasa screen gamit ang inyong mga phone upang makapagsagot. The first question is, what is your gender? For this question, the majority po ng participants ay female, 56%, while for the male, 42%, for the LGBTQ++, 1%, prefer not to say 0%. For the second question, what is the employment size of your company? Majority po ng mga participants ay from large companies po, which is 48%. For the medium, 29%. For the small, 26%. And for the micro, 5%. For the last question, from what sector or industry are you? The majority of the participants are from manufacturing, 48%. For the admin and support services, 27%. For the construction, 17%. And for the wholesale and retail, 10%. For the accommodation and food services, 3%. Maraming salamat po sa ating mga Facebook participants para sa inyong participation. Without further ado, let us now proceed to the discussion for our main topic for today. To explain and discuss technical safety inspection, our speaker is a Labor and Employment Officer 3 assigned at the Program Management, Technical Services and Support Division of the Bureau of Working Conditions. He is also a professional mechanical engineer by profession. Please welcome Engineer Gilbert Marquez.
Ayan. Thank you po, Miss Saibel. At para po sa atin pong mga participant, welcome po again sa ating pong webinar Wednesday ng Bureau of Working Condition. Ngayon pong hapon, ang pag-uusapan po natin ay tungkol po sa Technical Safety Inspection. Sige po, i-share ko lang po ang ating presentation. Ayan. Ulitin ko, ako po si Engineer Gilbert Marquez ng Bureau of Working Condition. And ang ating pong pag-uusapan ay Technical Safety Inspection. Una, pag-usapan po muna natin ang ating objectives. At the end of the session, the participants are expected to, number one, know what is TSI and its difference between GSI. Mamaya po alamin po natin kung ano ba yung TSI na yan at GSI. Know the legal basis on its implementation. Identify the covered establishments and equipment. Know the basic process and requirements on the application for the issuance of permits, yung PTO po at CEI. Then lastly, yung know the possible violations and penalties for non-compliance. Okay. Ano nga po daw ang TSI? It refers to inspection for the purpose of safety determination of boilers, pressure vessels, internal combustion engines, elevators, hoisting equipments, electrical wirings, and other mechanical installation. Mamaya po, isa-isahin natin kung ano-ano po ba yung equipment na yan para may idea po tayo. Then, ano naman daw po yung GSI? Ito po ay General Safety Inspection. And it refers to inspection to determine the safety and health hazards in the workplace and environment in relation to adequacy of workspace, lighting, ventilation, work procedures, handling and storage operation, and it also includes the examination of the OSH program, safety committee, and OSH personnel and facilities among others. Ayan. Ang ating pong pagkakaiba sa pagitan ng TSI at GSI, una po ang TSI ay nakatuon sa mga mechanical at electrical equipment. Samantala po ang GSI naman o General Safety Inspection ay para po sa kabuuang safety and health ng isang company. Then mag-proceed naman po tayo sa objectives ng TSI program. Una-una kung bakit po ito kinokonduct. Determine the presence of potential hazards in the workplace. Then, provide recommendation to correct or eliminate the presence of mechanical and electrical hazards. Next is to determine compliance with the provisions or requirements of the occupational safety and health standards. And the other is train or educate the workers in handling operation and maintenance of mechanical equipments or electrical wiring installation. And lastly, set up safety organization or committee to handle safety program activities in case po na wala ang isang establishment. Then, pumunta naman po tayo doon sa legal basis kung bakit po ini-implement ang technical safety inspection. Una po is yung Article 168 or Safety and Health Standards ng Labor Code of the Philippines. Ang sinasabi po dito, the Secretary of Labor and Employment shall by appropriate orders set and enforce mandatory occupational safety and health standards to eliminate or reduce occupational safety and health hazards in workplaces and institute new and update existing programs to ensure safe and healthful working conditions in all places of employment. Okay? Then, next naman po is yung Article 171 or Administration of Safety and Health Laws. Ito po ay nakapaloob pa rin sa Labor Code of the Philippines. Ang sinasabi po dito, the DOLE shall be solely responsible for the administration and enforcement of occupational safety and health laws, regulations, and standards in all establishments and workplaces wherever they may be located. Next, discuss naman po natin yung mga ibang issuance ng DOLE related po sa technical safety inspection. Unang-una po, yung Occupational Safety and Health Standards or OSH. Then, next po is yung Department Order number 198, Series of 2018 or yung Implementing Rules and Regulation of Republic Act number 11058 entitled An Act Strengthening Compliance with Occupational Safety and Health Standards and Providing Penalties for Violations thereof. And lastly, yun pong Revised Technical Safety Inspection Manual. Okay? Then, sino-sino ba ang apektado sa implementation ng technical safety inspection? Unang-una, ito po ay nag-a-apply o nakakaapekto lamang sa mga private establishments. Hindi po kasama dito yung mga government agencies or establishments or yung pong mga government-owned. Okay? And the other one is other private establishments not within the jurisdiction of chartered city with delegated authority to conduct TSI. Ayan, nabanggit po dito sa jurisdiction na pangalawa is yung chartered city. Mamaya po alamin natin kung ano po ba yung chartered city na sinasabi na yan. Ito, pag sinabi pong chartered city, yung authority po ni Department of Labor and Employment ay ibinabahagi niya sa mga cities na mayroong capacity na mag-conduct ng technical safety inspection. Sa Luzon, meron po tayong 4, sa Visayas, 3, at sa Mindanao ay 1. Ito po yung Manila City, Quezon City, Pasay City, Caloocan City, and for Visayas, Iloilo City, Bacolod City, and Mandaue City. And lastly, sa Mindanao is yung Davao City. Ayan. Next naman po is saan ba nag-a-apply o sa mga private establishments? Sino-sino ba sa mga private establishment yung covered or saan nag-a-apply yung TSI? Unang-una po, yung industrial enterprise. Ito po yung engaged in manufacturing of goods or products, processing, and any other activity similar and incidental thereto. Next is yung mga kasama sa agricultural enterprise. Those engaged in forestry, logging operations, farming in all branches. It includes cultivation, tillage of the soil, dairying, the production, cultivation, growing, and harvesting of any agricultural and horticultural commodities, poultry, and lastly, yung livestock raising. Next, yung mga nasasakop po ng oil refineries. Kasama po dito yung depots, warehouses, and their bodegas. The next po is yung mga power producing plants. Steam, gas, and other electrical generating plants, including its maintenance and repair shops. Then lastly po, yung construction sites. Sa construction po, hindi po basta nag-a-apply yung technical safety inspection. Ang sinasabi lang po dito, mag-a-apply lang po ito kung ang construction project is built for industrial purpose. Okay? Then, doon naman po sa mga covered establishment, ano po bang mga equipment yung mga dapat pong i-apply sa DOLE? Hindi po lahat ng equipment ay kailangan ikuha ng permit sa DOLE, kagaya po ng mga air conditioning system, mga pumps, ayan. Dito po, isa-isahin po natin kung ano-ano po yung mga covered na equipment. Ang una po is yung boiler na makikita po natin sa OSH standard, yung Rule 1160 as amended under Department Order Number 15, Series of 2001. Then next is yung pressure vessel under Rule 1170 as amended under DO number 15, Series of 2001. Then yung Rule 1180 or internal combustion engine. Next is yung Rule 1190 steam turbines. Okay? Then under Rule 1210, yung electrical safety or electrical wiring installations. Next is yung Rule 1220 or elevators and related equipment. And lastly, yung Rule 1240 or yung power piping lines. Ayan. Alamin po natin para po dun sa mga hindi po pamilyar yung outside po ng mga manufacturing at industrial plant, kung ano-ano po ba yung mga equipment na ito. Una po is yung boiler. Ayan, makikita po sa sa right side ng screen po ninyo ang series po ng mga boiler. Kung makita nyo, mayroon pong 3 dyan or 4 na unit ng boiler. Ano nga po ba ito? It is a closed vessel in which fluid is heated. The heated or vaporized fluid exits the boiler for use in various processes or heating applications, including water heating, central heating, boiler-based power generation, cooking, and sanitation. Ayan. Siya po yung boiler. Para lang po ito para po madaling maintindihan ng mga hindi po wala po sa manufacturing or sa mga power plant, para po madali natin maintindihan kung ano yung boiler. Ito po ay parang isang takure na pag nagpakulo po tayo ng tubig, makikita po natin sumisingaw yung usok kapag mainit na. Ayan, yung usok po na yon or yung vapor, yun po yung ginagamit para po makapag-generate ng electricity or makapagluto. Ayan. Then, next po is yung mga pressure vessels. Ano po ba ito? Kung makikita po natin sa ating right side, ito po ay mga tangke. Sa sample po natin, ito po ay LPG storage tank. Ayan. Marami po tayong makikita yan sa Bataan. Dahil nandun po yung Petron. Ano po? Ano po ba ito? It is a closed container designed to hold gases or liquids at a pressure substantially higher or lower than the ambient pressure, like autoclaves, compressed gas cylinders, compressors, including refrigeration, vacuum chambers, and custom design laboratory vessels. Ayan, pag sinabi po natin, mapapansin natin yung ambient pressure. Pag sinabi pong ambient pressure, ayan po yung normal na pressure na kung saan po tayo nakatayo. Kung saan ating pong normal na ginagalawan. Okay? Next po is yung internal combustion engine. It is an engine that generates motive power by the burning of gasoline, oil, or other fuel with air inside the engine. The hot gases produced being used to drive a piston or do other work as they expand. Ayan. So makikita po natin sa sample ay dalawang internal combustion engine. Sa pagkakataon pong ito, yung internal combustion engine ay coupled sa isang generator. Hindi po lahat ng internal combustion engine ay coupled lang sa isang generator. Posible rin po ito ay magamit sa mga fire pumps. Opo. And then para po sa agriculture, yung kanila pong mga makina doon, ang ginagamit po nila ay internal combustion engine. Yun po ang kinukuha na natin ng permit. Okay? Next is yung turbine. Ayan, sa sample po makikita po ninyo na ito po ay isang sample ng isang steam turbine. Makikita nyo marami po siyang series ng mga blades. Diyan po, kanina po na-discuss natin yung boiler. Yung usok po noon, dadaan po yan dito para mapaikot niya. Then ito po ay nakakouple sa isang generator. Then yung generator po ay magpo-produce ng electricity. It is a machine for producing continuous power in which a wheel or rotor, typically fitted with vanes, is made to revolve by a fast-moving flow of water, steam, gas, air, or other fluid. Ayan. Hindi lang po steam ang merong turbine. Meron din po yung kagaya ng sa wind turbine, makikita nyo sa Ilocos, then ang mga hydro turbine na makikita nyo sa mga dams. Ayan. Then next po is yung elevator. Kung makikita po ninyo sa sample, ito po ay material lift. Meron po siyang nakasakay na equipment at bubuhatin from ground floor to higher floor levels. Ano po ba ang elevator? It is a machine that vertically transports people or freight between levels. They are typically powered by electric motors that drive traction cables and counterweight systems such as hoists, although some pumps hydraulic fluids to raise a cylindrical piston like a jack. Ayan, hindi po palaging wire ropes, meron po ay hydraulic operated. Next is po yung cranes. Kung makikita po nyo dito, ito po yung cranes. Nasa inyong right side. Dalawang 3 tons capacity at isang 10 tons capacity. It is a type of machine generally equipped with a hoist rope, wire ropes, or chains and sheaves that can be used both to lift and lower materials and to move them horizontally. It is mainly used for lifting heavy objects and transporting them to other places. Ayan, siya po yung cranes and hoist. Ito po yung hoisting mechanism niya. Okay? Then, next is yung piping lines or power piping lines. It is a system of pipes used to convey fluids or gases from one location to other. Itong sample po natin, halos puro chemicals po ito. Potassium hydroxide, hydrochloric acid, hydrofluoric acid, nitric acid. Ayan, more on chemicals po yung application niya. Pero kung makikita po din nyo, meron po doong maliit na DI water. Okay. Lastly po is yung electrical wiring installation. Familiar naman po tayong lahat nito. Sa mga bahay, meron po tayong mga electrical installation, may mga switch, may mga ilaw, outlet. Pero para po i-define natin kung ano ba yung electrical wiring installation, it is an electric installation of cabling and associated devices such as switches, distribution boards, sockets, and light fittings in a structure. Okay, yan po yung mga equipment na kailangan pong kuhanan ng permit sa DOLE bago po ito gamitin. Okay? Then discuss naman po natin kung ano po yung requirements sa pag-obtain ng permits o sa pag-a-apply para makakuha ng permit sa DOLE. Ang general requirement po, three printed copy of plans, drawing, application forms, and other forms signed and sealed by either professional mechanical engineer and one soft copy in PDF form. Then, yung checklist of requirements po, application forms and other forms are available po sa official website ng DOLE, ng BWC sa ito po, yung bwc.dole.gov.ph. Pwede nyo pong ma-download dyan yung ating po mga forms. Then, discuss na po natin isa-isa kung ano po ba yung requirements. Una, doon po sa fabrication. Yung sa mechanical po, nahahati po yung permits na kinukuha sa DOLE. Una, yung sa fabrication po, then yung pangalawa ay sa installation. Yung sa fabrication po, ito po ay para sa mga locally fabricated lang na boiler at pressure vessel. Okay, pagka po siya ay gagawin po dito sa atin, Kailangan po bago magsimula yung construction or fabrication ng mga boiler at pressure vessel, kailangan po muna itong ikuha ng permit. Ano-ano po ba yung requirements para mabigyan kayo ng permit? Una, yung transmittal letter, PME o Professional Mechanical Engineer Certificate of Appearance, photocopy of PRC and PTR, application form, manufacturer's data report, and lastly, yung mga drawing plans which include equipment detailed construction drawing, equipment design computation, equipment specification, and general notes. Ngayon po, isa-isahin natin kung ano po ba yung mga dapat nating tandaan sa bawat isa. Para po sa transmittal letter, kailangan po i-reflect po natin doon sa letter yung intent of the applicant, name of the applicant, contact details, contact person, type of equipment being applied, and number of unit. Kung boiler po ito, ilang piraso. Kung pressure vessel, ilang piraso po. Next is yung PME Certificate of Appearance. Ayan. Yung Certificate of Appearance, ito po ay ini-issue sa ating pong mga DOL regional offices. Okay? Kung mayroon pong PME or PE, pwede po siyang pumunta sa pinakamalapit na regional offices o provincial office or district office para mabigyan ng Certificate of Appearance. Ipe-present lang po niya yung kanyang latest PRC ID at PTR or Professional Tax Receipt. Ayan. Siyempre po, kung ipe-present po yon, dapat po valid. Kasi kung hindi valid, hindi po sila mai-issuehan. At ang pinakatatandaan po natin, ito po ay binibigay ng libre. Okay? Ayan. Sabi ko po kanina, dapat po yung PRC ID at latest professional tax receipt ay current po or latest. Then for the application form and manufacturer's data report, dapat po lahat ng data ay properly filled out. Wala pong lilibanan. Kasi yung pong ating application form at data report ay siyang magsisilbing parang birth certificate ng mga equipment na ating pong ipaparehistro. Okay? Dapat po ito ay pirmado ng owner, manager or his or authorized representative. Then, lastly, dapat po ito ay signed and sealed ng professional mechanical engineer. Para naman po doon sa plano na ipapasa for fabrication, sa drawing plans, dapat po i-reflect yung una, equipment detailed construction drawing sa gaya po nitong mga nasa left side ng sample. Equipment design computation, andito po sa kabilang side. Equipment specification, andito po sa right side, top. And then yung general notes. Okay? Then for installation, ito naman po yung mga requirements. Nagkaiba lang po sa installation at fabrication. Pag sa installation po ay wala na yung MDR o Manufacturer's Data Report. Then, mas maharami po ng kaunti yung hinihingi na details sa plano. Okay po, later po i-discuss natin siya isa-isa. Same pa rin po doon sa transmittal letter, intent, name of applicant, contact details, contact person, type of equipment being applied at number of units. Then, same pa din po, PME Certificate of Appearance. Kailangan po valid. Then, yung photocopy of PRC ID and PTR, valid pa rin po. At kung hindi po ito updated, yung iba po kasi minsan ini-issuehan lang sila ng certificate ni PRC. Ito po ay ino-honor naman ng DOLE Regional Office. Then sa application form, same po, all data must be properly filled out, signed by owner, signed by professional mechanical engineer. Then doon po sa details ng plano, ito po, una-una discuss natin yung plant location or vicinity map. Ano po ba yon? Yun po yung drawing showing the location of the establishment where the equipment is to be installed. Ayan, kung saan po located. Kailangan po indicate yung streets and known landmarks. Ano ba yung known landmarks? Halimbawa po yung establishment nyo ay may katabi na Jollibee sa kaliwa, then sa right side ay McDo naman. Yan po, i-indicate nyo po doon para madali po kayong makita ng mga dole inspector. Okay? Then, doon po sa location plan, dapat po naka-include yung compass rose. Kung hindi po tayo familiar dito, ito po yung arrow kung saan tinuturo kung nasaan yung north, south, east, and west. Okay? Then, next naman po is yung plant or room layout. Dapat po ito ay drawn to scale. Machinery room layout, position of the mechanical equipment in relation to the surrounding walls and other machinery or equipment inside the room are indicated. Ayan, kung nasa isa po itong maliit na kwarto, dapat pinapakita rin po yung distansya niya kumpara doon sa iba pa niyang kasamang mga equipment. If open space, halimbawa po nasa labas ng building, kagaya po ng karaniwan po yung mga generator na hindi po kasama yan sa loob ng building, may separate room po siya. Dapat po mayroon siyang plant layout indicating the location of the equipment subject to TSI. Ayan. Then for the installation drawing and equipment specification, ito po yung mga requirements. Dapat po yung sa installation drawing ay kumpleto. Yung technical drawing, dapat po ipinapakita niya yung section elevation, different views of the equipment. Ibig sabihin po, makikita yung sa top view, sa side view, yan po, tsaka sa front view. Then, yung equipment specification reflected in a drawing plan should corroborate with the application form. Ayan. Kasi minsan po, may application form, nakasulat yung mga data, pero pag binuklat po ng mga evaluator yung plano, iba po yung equipment. Halimbawa po, ang sample niya na ina-apply mo ay bawa po sa LTO, ina-apply mo sa application form mo is motor. Pagdating doon sa plano, kotse pala yung ina-apply mo. Dapat po parehas. Kung motor po yung nasa application form, motor din po dapat yung nasa plano. Okay? Next is yung detailed foundation construction drawing. Ayan. Ito po yung sample. Tsaka yung kanina po, yung doon sa installation drawing, yung mga views, ito makikita po natin dito yung plan view, side elevation, and front elevation. Then yung meron po rin pinapakita rito na specifications. Okay, yan po yan para pabigyan po kayo ng idea. Next is yung required foundation design calculation. Sinasabi dito, dapat po yung foundation calculation natin is makikita natin yung equipment, weight of equipment and accessories, base area of the foundation, volume of the foundation, type of concrete mixture, kung type A po ba yan o ano po, weight of concrete foundation, allowable soil bearing capacity in the locality, and yung factor of safety. Dapat po yung factor of safety ay hindi bababa sa 5. Kahit po yan ay 4.9999, hindi po yan tatanggapin. Dapat po is 5 or 5.01. Okay? Then, sa pagpasa po ng application, meron po tayong sinusunod na sizes ng plano. Ayan po. Ito po yung makikita natin sa OSH standard, yung mga sizes. Pero tumatanggap po tayo ng at least A3 size. Okay? Then, dapat po siya ay nakatupi. Kung makikita nyo po dito sa figure 1, kung ito po yung plano, itutupi nyo po muna siya sa 4. Then, expose yung bottom right corner na nakalagay dyan, yung yung sheet number 1 o kaya M1. Ayan. Then, pagkatupi nyo po, itutupi nyo pa ulit ng isa pa. Naka-expose pa rin po yung sheet number. Then, itutupi nyo pa ulit siya sa kalahati. Exposing pa rin po yung sheet number. Kasi po, yung iba po ang pinapasang plano ay nakarolyo o kaya ay hindi naka-arrange ng maayos. Malaki pong oras ang ginugugol ng ating mga evaluator para lang po maitupi yung mga plano natin. At mahirap po bilang evaluator na buksan yung mga plano kung hindi siya nakatupi ng ayos. Okay? Then, napag-usapan na po natin yung mga requirements sa pagkuha ng permit for fabrication at permit for installation ng mga mechanical equipment. Hindi naman po siya, yung sa electrical wiring installation naman po ay hindi nalalayo doon sa dalawang yon. I-discuss po natin kung ano-ano po yung requirements. Same pa rin po, transmittal letter. Kung kanina po, professional mechanical engineer, ngayon naman po ay professional electrical engineer certificate of appearance, photocopy ng PRC and PTR, application form, then yung set of drawings, indicating po, showing yung location and and site plan, legend or symbol and schedule of loads, general notes or specification, plans for power and lighting, grounding and banding, schedule of loads, design analysis and computation, then yung required size of plans. Ganun pa rin po yung transmittal letter, kailangan yung intent, seeking approval of application for installation ng equipment. Yan, yun po yung sample. Then name of applicant, contact details, contact person, at yung tax identification number ng company. Okay, sa form po natin, makikita po natin yung may portion po doon na hinihingi yung T number. Ayan. At least po malalaman natin na siya po ay rehistradong company at nagbabayad ng tamang tax. Okay. Next po is yung PEE Certificate of Appearance. Kailangan po issued pa rin ng Department of Labor sa regional offices. Okay? And valid. Naka-attach po yung kanyang photocopy ng PRC ID and yung professional tax receipt. Okay? Then sa application form, all data must be properly filled out, signed by owner, signed and sealed by PEE. Then, i-discuss naman po natin yung details ng plano na isasubmit kasama ng application form. Una, yung location and site plan. Ito daw po is yung bordering areas, showing public and well-known street, location of service drop, service equipment, nearest pole and meter, including the clearance of service drop and service entrance. Okay? Next, yung legend or symbols and schedule of loads. Ayan po. Ayan po ay merong standard. Makikita po natin yan sa Philippine Electrical Code, Appendix A, Electrical Symbols sa page 946. Ayan po. Dapat po ipakita natin yon para madaling sundan ng mga mag-i-install. Next is yung general notes or specification. Una, yung nature of electrical services, including the number of phases and number of wires, types of wiring, special equipment, types and rating of main disconnecting means, OCP, and branch circuit. Then lastly is yung clearance of service drop, burial depth for service lateral, mounting heights of meter, outlet, and lighting switch. Next is yung plans for power and lighting. Ano po ba ito? Ito po yung plano na nagpapakita kung saan located yung mga yung mga outlet. Then, separate po sa isang drawing uli is yung mga ilaw naman. Ayan. Yun po yung power and lighting. Then, yung sa grounding and banding, muli, meron po tayong standard niyan. Nasa Philippine Electrical Code, Table 2.50.6.13, page 124. Ayan. Hindi po basta-basta isusulat, drawing. Meron pong standard. Next is yung schedule of loads, kagaya po nung sample natin dito sa ating presentation, yung motor loads, lighting and receptacle loads, and other loads. Then, yung isa sa pinaka-importante para malaman na yung ating installation ng electrical ay safe or hindi. Dapat meron pong design analysis and computation. Ayan, meron pong mga hinihinging computation. Ano po ba yun? Voltage drop calculation, short circuit computation with impedance diagram, protection coordination, and arc flash analysis. Ayan, 4 po yung at least hinihingi na computation. Then again, yung pong sizes of plants na makikita natin sa O standard is yung 500 by 760 cm, 600 by 900 cm, at 760 by 1,000. Sorry, ayan po, 1,000. Ang meron lang pong typo dito, ito po ay millimeters. Okay? Then, dapat po ay ito po ay nakatupi pa rin dahil po, yun nga po, kagaya po na yung paliwanag ko, mas madali po sa evaluator na ibuksan o tingnan yung mga details ng inyong plano kung ito po ay nakatupi ng ayos. Okay? Then, kung nakompleto na po natin yung requirements po natin sa electrical at sa mechanical, submission po ng application, ito po yung basic process flow. Una po, kapag nakompleto na natin yung mga requirements, una muna doon sa fabrication, pag na-clear po yung walang naging problema yung inyong application, okay po lahat, magpo-proceed po. At ito po ay na-approve na ng regional office. Pwede na po kayong mag-proceed with fabrication. Ayan. And po, malinaw po dito, bago kayo mag-fabricate ng boiler, pressure vessel, kailangan nyo po muna ng approved plans. Kailangan nyo po muna ng clearance sa Dole Regional Offices. Then, kapag po nabuo nyo na o na-construct nyo na yung boiler and pressure vessel, bago nyo po siya install sa inyong mga establishment, dapat po meron muna kayong clearance. Okay. Hindi po agad i-install. Okay? Pag po nabigyan ng clearance, saka pa lang po kayo magpo-proceed sa inyong installation. Pag po natapos nyo na yung inyong pong installation ng boiler, halimbawa po ng boiler, ng pressure vessel, internal combustion engine, magre-request po kayo ngayon in written sa Dole Regional Office na nakakasakop sa inyong establishment or company. Okay? Then, ilalagay nyo po doon sa inyong request kung ano po ang preferred schedule po ng inspection. Ang hinihingi po namin at least 2 para po in case po kasi mayroon pong ibang urgent na kailangan puntahan yung ating mga inspector, then makikipag-coordinate po siya sa inyo na kung pwede doon po siya doon sa available dates na isa pang binigay ninyo. Okay? Then pag nagkasundo na po kayo doon sa date na inspection, magko-conduct na po yung labor inspector ng TSI. Kung yung inyo pong plano at inyong application forms ay wala naman pong pinagkaiba o tama doon sa actual installation, ire-recommend po kayo ng aming technical safety inspector sa kanyang regional director na ma-issuehan po kayo ng certificate ng permit to operate at certificate of electrical inspection. Okay, pero bago po kayo ma-issuehan ng PTO or CEI, bibigyan po muna kayo ng order of payment. Kailangan nyo po bayaran ito sa LGU na nakakasakop sa inyo. Okay? Then, kapag na-issue na po kayo ng permit to operate at ng certificate of electrical inspection, 30 days prior po ma-expire yung inyong permits, kailangan po request na kayo ng re-inspection para ma-renew yung inyong mga permits. Okay. Ayan po yung basic process flow ng pagkuha ng permits. Then, i-discuss naman natin kung ano po yung mga common deficiencies na nai-encounter ng mga evaluator natin sa ating mga regional offices. Una, sa fabrication ng boiler at pressure vessel. Ang sinasabi dito, yung indicated length in the manufacturer's data report is different from the dimension in the drawing plans. Ayan. Hindi po tugma. Kailangan po tugma yung mga dimension. Then, yung shell thickness used is less than the computed shell thickness. Okay. Ibig sabihin, yung actual na kapal nung plate nung ginamit sa pressure vessel or boiler is mas manipis kaysa doon sa na-compute nila. Halimbawa po, ang na-compute ay 10 millimeters pero sa actual ay 6 millimeters lang. Hindi po pwede yon. Kailangan po kung ano yung na-compute ay mas ma-equal or mas makapal. Then, incomplete signature on all application forms and drawing plans. Ayan. Simple lang po ito, no? Pero marami po ang nagsasubmit ng walang pirma ng owner o kanyang authorized representative, walang pirma ng professional engineer doon sa application form at plano. Ayan, simpleng bagay pero nakakaligtaan po yan. Kailangan po tayo ay kumpleto. Then, yung maximum allowable working pressure. Hindi po ito ay nilagay sa kanyang application form at doon sa kanyang plano. Ay importante po ito para po na pag na-issuehan kayo ng permit to operate, ilalagay po kasi yung working pressure na allowed doon sa isang equipment. Okay? Then sa installation naman po, ganun pa rin po. Yung sa application form, kulang po yung incomplete equipment data and signature. Then, yung data po sa application form, sa number 2, ay hindi po the same doon sa plano. Kailangan po laging tugma, kagaya ng sample ko kanina. Then, ang kadalasan po namin na encounter o ng mga evaluator is isang set lang po ng application form ang sinasubmit para sa maraming equipment. Okay? Ibig sabihin po kung merong 4 na equipment, dapat po merong 4 na set ng application form at plano. Okay? Then ito po, karaniwan rin pong nakakaligtaan. May pirma naman po ng professional engineer pero walang dry seal. Ang requirement po is signature and dry seal ng professional engineer. Okay? Para naman po sa electrical, ito naman po yung mga common deficiencies. Una, yung no design analysis, kagaya ng mga binanggit ko kanina. Yung voltage drop, yan po. Arc flash, yan. Dapat po may design analysis. Then, ito rin po, same rin po ng problema sa mechanical, lagi pong nakakalimutan yung pirma ng owner. Then, the single line diagram data is not the same as reflected on the load schedule. Ayan, dapat po tugma yung single line tsaka yung nakalagay sa load schedule. Separate drawings po yan, ano ho? Yung single line diagram tsaka load schedule. At dapat po yung data doon ay tugma. Next, dapat po doon sa design analysis, i-indicate po natin yung pass or failed doon sa computation, specifically po doon sa voltage drop. Okay? At po nakanote yung passed or failed. Ayan. Then, same po sa mechanical, no? Dry seal of signing professional electrical engineer. Then, lastly, yung circuit home run is not reflected in the drawing. Importante po yan. Kailangan po nating ipakita yung circuit home run. Ayan. Pag-usapan naman po natin kung sakali po na kayo po ay nag-fabricate ng walang clearance Sa DOLE, nag-install kayo ng mechanical equipment at electrical wiring installation ng walang clearance sa DOLE. Inoperate ninyo yung inyong mechanical equipment at ang inyong electrical system. Meron po yang kaakibat na penalties or fines. Ito po, makikita po natin doon po sa Department number 198-18 yung mga possible violation. Unang-una po yung provision of certified personnel or professional required by the OSH standards. Ayan po. Kasi po pag kayo ay nag-operate ng certain kilowatts or megawatts, kailangan po meron po kayong for mechanical, at least mechanical engineer or electrical engineer. Okay? Or kung mas mababa po yung capacity ng inyong establishment, registered master electrician. Okay? Then, ayun po, ang next po is yung possible na violation, yung use of approved or certified devices and equipment for the task. Ayun po, yung kaya po sinasabi nga, yung boiler, pressure vessel, electrical wiring installation ay may permits. 40,000 and 50,000. Ayan po ang possible na maging penalty ninyo kung hindi po kayo kukuha ng permit sa DOLE. Okay? Ayan po. Thank you. Ayan po. Yung para po sa inyong mga katanungan, ilipat ko na po ang mic kay Miss Saibel. Okay.
Thank you so much, Engineer Gilbert, for that informative discussion regarding technical safety inspection. Let us now proceed in answering questions submitted by our participants today. As a reminder, you can still submit questions through the comment section. For the first question, marami po tayong natutunan ngayon regarding sa technical safety inspection. For the first question, Engineer Gilbert, are those establishments located at special economic zones or is PEZA registered are still required to secure DOLE permits?
Ayan, napakagandang katanungan po niyan kasi marami po sa mga PESA registered establishment or locators ng PESA ay hindi naguguluhan kung kailangan po nilang kumuha ng permits o hindi sa DOLE. Kailangan po kasi hindi naman po dinelegate ni DOLE yung authority niya kay PESA sa pag-conduct ng technical safety inspection. Ayan po, linawin ko po ulit, kailangan pa rin po kumuha sa DOLE yung mga PESA registered establishments. Okay?
For the second question, if you already have permit to operate for generator or boiler issued by DENR, EMB, or LLDA, do we still need a permit from DOLE?
Ayan. Ayan po. Napagkakamalan po na maraming nalilito sa ating pong mga stakeholders. Ang sinasabi nila, meron na po kaming permit to operate issued ng DENR or yung Environmental Management Bureau at yung Laguna Lake Development Authority. Linawin lang po natin na yung permit to operate nila ay nakapokus po doon sa environmental safety dahil po ito ay mayroong mga emission sa tubig at sa hangin. Samantala po sa DOLE, ang focus po nito ay sa safety ng mga manggagawa. Kaya po, kung meron na kayong PTO doon, kailangan pa rin po ninyo kumuha ng permit sa DOLE. Okay po?
For the third question po, We are under government before, and now we are operated of private industry. Do we need to apply for PTO and CEI?
Ayan. Ayun po, marami rin pong naguguluhan dito kasi lalo na po yung mga power plant. Dati po yan ay mga government owned and operated. Ngayon po, binili na po ito ng mga private companies. Nung government pa po sila, hindi po sila required kasi government po. Pero ngayon pong nasa private na kayo, kailangan nyo na pong ikuha ng permit sa DOLE. Okay po?
For the fourth question, is there any tabulation of fees for intended for each specific mechanical and electrical installation?
Ayan. Opo, standard po yung ating computation sa kung magkano ang babayaran ninyo. Hindi po sa DOLE ha, hindi po, linawin po natin, hindi po kayo sa DOLE magbabayad, kundi sa local government units na nakakasakop sa inyo. Kung kayo naman po ay locator ng PESA, sa PESA po kayo magbabayad. Okay?
For the fifth question, is overhead traveling crane is also type of crane and hoist?
Yes po, crane and hoist po ang overhead traveling crane. Minsan po, regardless po kung ito po ay ilang capacity, meron po niyan ay meron capacity na 0.5 ton, kasama rin po ito, covered rin po ito. As long as po na yung mga crane ay electric operated, may motor, ito po ay kasama or included.
For the sixth question po, engineer, is there a minimum KVA rating for genset to be included in the inspection?
Ayan, apo. Maganda po itong katanungan. Ano po? Wala pong minimum kilovolts yung requirement ang genset, ilang kVA. Ano? Ang requirement po ay ito po ba ay permanently installed or ito po ba ay minumove from one position to another or for emergency use only. Kasi po kagaya po nung sa presentation kanina, bago kayo mag-install ng internal combustion engine, merong requirement na foundation. Kung ito po ay lagi nating inililipat, isang araw, 2 araw, 1 buwan, 1 taon, ito po ay pabago-bago at dapat laging ikuha ng permit. Kaya po, ang usapan lang po dito ay kung siya ay permanently installed or hindi. Regardless po kung ano yung capacity ng genset ninyo, kailangan nyo po siyang ikuha ng permit. Okay po.
For the seventh question po, is certificate of appearance from RO7 can be applicable to all regions?
Ayan, okay po. Maganda rin pong katanungan yan kasi marami po tayong regional offices. Ano? Halimbawa po, ang isang mechanical engineer, professional mechanical engineer o isang professional electrical engineer ay nagkaroon, halimbawa po sa NCR, sa National Capital Region ng kanyang kliyente. Pero po itong engineer na to ay nakatira sa Region 7. Ano po, halimbawa sa Cebu po. At doon po siya kumuha ng Certificate of Appearance. Ayan. Ito po, pag nagsabit siya ng plano, doon sa National Capital, tama, pag nagpasa pa rin siya ng plano, ito po ay i-honor sa lahat ng regional offices. Ito po. Yan po, linawin natin mabuti po yan. Ano? Yung in-issue sa Regional Office 7 ay ina-accept sa lahat ng region.
For the eighth question po, engineer, doon po sa TSI, meron related provision na it should be signed or certified by PME. Does it mean DOLE PME or company plant PME or third-party PME hired by company plant?
Ayan. Hindi po ito taga-DOLE. Ano ho, linawin po natin yung sinasabi po na nire-require dito na kailangan i-certify ng PME. Hindi po ito galing sa DOLE. Ito po ay pwedeng kung meron po kayong PME sa planta, pwede po siya. Kung wala po, third party, mag-hire po kayo. Ayun, malinaw po yan ho. Hindi taga-dole. Private practicing professional mechanical engineer. Either employed sa company or hired through third party. Okay po.
For the ninth question po, Engineer, may online downloadable checklist po ba para sa pressurized vessel requirements?
Yes, opo. Ayun po, kagaya po nung nasa presentation kanina sa general requirement, pwede nyo po itong i-download sa amin pong official website sa bwc.dole.gov.ph. Okay?
For the last question po, Engineer, is the OR paid for mechanical and electrical application to PESA OBO can be used to pay for the DOLE applications for mechanical and electrical?
Ayan, opo. Maganda rin pong katanungan yan. Wala pong, ito po, wala pong bayad sa DOLE. No? Gaya po ng binanggit ko kanina, ang bayad lang po lagi ay sa LGU or PESA OBO. Ang tanong lang po ngayon ay new installation or renewal. Pag new installation, pero matagal nyo na palang ibinayad ito sa PESA OBO. Halimbawa, nagre-renew na kayo, meron na kayong nakuwang official receipt. Ang nakalagay dito ay mas mababa kumpara doon sa in-issue ng DOLE. Kailangan po yung difference niya ay bayaran nyo pa rin sa PESA OBO, then present nyo po yung OR sa DOLE. Okay po? Ina-accept po ito kung meron na.
Engineer, may additional questions lang po. Saan po makukuha ng technical safety manual, technical safety inspection manual?
Ayan po, pwede nyo po yung i-search sa Google, kay Kuya Google, para po isasalagay nyo lang po DOLE Technical Safety Inspection Manual. Lalabas na po yung mga link para sa kayo maka-download. Kasama na po dyan yung link sa Bureau of Working Condition.
Engineer, may humabol po ulit na tanong. Paano po kapag hindi kumuha ng permit sa wiring installation sa DOLE?
Ayan. Kagaya po ng nabanggit ko, kapag po nag-ikot yung aming na-subject po yung establishment ninyo sa routine inspection at nakita wala kayong wiring installation, ayan, ire-require po kayo na kumuha sa DOLE. Ito naman po ay bibigyan kayo ng tamang sapat na panahon para i-comply. At kung natapos po yung sapat na panahon na ibinigay sa inyo at di pa rin kayo nag-comply, posible po na kayo ay mabigyan ng penalty. Okay? Kagaya po nung nabanggit ko kanina sa presentation.
Thank you so much po, Engineer Gilbert. Marami na po tayong questions, pero wag po kayong mag-alala. Meron po tayong social media team na kasalukuyang sumasagot sa inyo. Some announcements lang po. Ang BWC ay patuloy na magpapalabas ng Webinar Wednesdays para sa buwan ng August. Para sa August 16, Episode 7, ito ay patungkol sa new inspection rules. Para sa August 16, para sa August 23, Episode 8, Safety and Health in the Workplace. August 30, Episode 9, Construction Safety and Health Program. If you have any clarifications, you may send us an email on askbwc@gmail.com or you may call the DOLE hotline 1349. At sa mga hindi po nakapanood ng ating episode ngayon, pwede po nating panoorin muli ang live sa BWC Facebook page. Again, on behalf of DOLE BWC and our presenter, Engineer Gilbert Marquez, thank you so much for joining us today and have a great and safe day ahead.
Para sa katanungan at karagdagang impormasyon, maaari po tayong tumawag sa Dole Hotline 1349 o sumangguni sa mga Dole Regional o Field Office na nakakasakop sa inyong lugar paggawa.